I used one simple webinar presentation to produce
All right, family. Give me a second here. There we go. Let me see who is on. Let's know, family. Mic check, mic check. Can you hear us and see it's okay? It looks like there's a weird lag on my end. Hopefully you guys are not seeing the same thing I am. It looks like we're kind of shadowing a bit. Let me know if you can hear us and see us okay. John says, evening all, will be here as long as I can. Internet going in and out. Sorry to hear that, brother. We have beautiful skies, but it looks like there's a lag going on, and I'm not really sure why that is. Let me see if I can adjust anything on my end real quick. That will make a difference, but we'll give it a go. All right. Let me go ahead. Don't see anyone telling you if they can see us and hear us okay. So I'm gonna hope and pray that you can see us and hear us okay. What do you mean? Okay, so what can I do about that? Okay, so apparently, Dawn, our internet is also going in and out. So family, we're gonna do our best to just go through this and help you guys as best as we can, as long as the internet will play nice. Sorry if there's some lag or some in and outs. I know on my end, it definitely looks a little odd. Um, Hearing you with a lag and hear and see you, definitely a lag. Is it where you can still understand what we're saying, or is it something that we just need to, do you think we need to maybe reset everything, Larry, and try?
So instead of doing it, having any contact with anything, he's not working right now. He wants to stop.
Okay.
Does our audio sound lagging?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
All right, audio's fuzzy, maybe volume too loud. No, it's not. It's the same volume every single week. So I think it's just our internet connection, which unfortunately we can't do anything about, y'all. So we're just gonna go ahead. Melly says she can still understand us okay. So we're just gonna go for it, fam, and see what we can do. All right, family. Well, welcome to our Sunday live Q&A we do here on Enter Tai Chi's channel for Enter Shaolin. Where obviously we're talking about our kung fu, and we're talking about no dak na, and we're gonna talk about fitness, health, wellness, and anything else that you guys and gals would like to talk about. So if you have questions in the chat, please go ahead and do that already. And if you haven't, let us know where you're coming in from. Please do that as well. We always love to see who's coming in from where. Sometimes you all make some connections in the chat, which is also amazing. All right, so I know we have John on, which is so good to see you, brother. And hopefully your internet played nice too. Apparently, we're both having internet connections. We got Phil. This is hoorah. I'm assuming you must be military, sir. Thank you for your service. If not, just hoorah, just because. All right, so let's go on. We have Kevin. He says, "Sup, everyone. I haven't been around in a while. Hope everyone's doing okay. We're alive, and hallelujah for that. But we're all going through some stuff, some challenges, but we are alive and we are still kicking. So that is something to be grateful for. Let's see. Kevin is coming in from Detroit, Michigan. We have Shalom on, which looks like Shalom has first question of the night. So we'll get back to that in a moment.
I don't think it's a question.
He says, can you show me some? So it's kind of a question he's
It's a
asking.
request.
He's asking you a question. Sorry, guys, my eyes look puffy. I had a good cry session with the Lord earlier, so I don't look like myself. I apologize. I tried to get rid of it before the event. It just didn't work out. Sometimes when you prayer, it just happens.
My eyes look puffy too, lack of sleep.
Right. One of us was crying, other one laughing asleep. So just forgive us if we're looking a little extra puffy today. Let's see. We can't always look like beauty queens over here. John says, Pizza Ranch with the family having dinner after wife tried hard to get arrested. Time to teach Tai Chi. Okay, John. Look, I hope you can make it for the member webinar because unless you want to share more details in the chat here, but if you want to keep, between fam, I need more details if you don't mind, because now you got me curious. Okay, what is going on over there in Iowa? Let's see. Phil says, hello, hello. Melanie says, hi, everyone. All right. And Melanie's coming in from Southern Utah. And it looks like I got everyone. Okay, cool. All right, we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna roll, fam. All right, so Shalom says, hi guys, Sifu, can you show some crane and dragon against punching? Thanks. Last time you showed them against grabbing. Okay, crane and dragon against punches versus the grab.
All right, let's do a straight punch. One of
Okay.
the easiest things for a crane is a wing. Okay, so
All right.
she's punching me. It's the wing here. It goes to the eyes. Real quick, real easy to settle. Someone wants to punch you. A wing can go off that. She throws a hook punch. Wing this way again, that one as well. So you can use a wing to striking. Fingertips are used for grazing on the eyes. It's a real quick, real easy to do. Just learn to turn your wrists left and right so you look like you're a wing. So like this. So I'm using my wings to cut in and out. So if she's throwing a straight punch, I can use a wing this way while I'm turning thumb side to hit the arm. You want to hit it upward, not straight down and over. If you do, you put pressure against yourself. So if she's punching, she put weight behind, and I do this, I can feel the pressure come into me. She does it again, I go up. It actually makes it easier for me. So when you wing, don't wing pushing down the arm, wing hitting up arm. Okay,
Ooh.
so
Sorry.
you're just going like that. So you want to hit, once your wrist turns, turn your fingers towards her eyes, as in like you're striking towards her eyes.
That would
So,
not feel good, Joe.
yeah, so the idea is when you go like this, it's like this and this, where their eyes will not turn away, then you do like a crane kick towards the gut, leg, the knee, whatever. Okay, so that's like a real quick, real easy wing. It works with hook punch too. They throw a hook punch,
Okay.
right? Just wing hand. So you're just gonna cut the wing fingertips like feathers, coming out, then coming across this way. So you go 1, 2. So it's a real quick, easy thing to do. It's very simple. That's very, very basic crane. If you want to do dragon on a straight line punch, dragon hands, cut this way with the forearm, rotate the wrist, come with your fingers and the claws this way. I know it looks kind of blurry, but
Yeah,
One,
hopefully you guys can see that
two.
okay.
Yeah.
Worst
So-
case scenario, we can do some of this next week if the internet
So
can.
she's talking, you cut and you come right in using the claw, the fingertips. The idea is hit them with the palm of your hand towards the bone, the cheek structure, and the fingers closes along the eye. So if she's gonna go this hand, when you
Okay.
really get to visually this way. So you're hitting with your palm towards her face and the fingers close along that side. So you're hitting from a cut here, palm strike, and the fingers close. So it's like that. So it really hits deep on the bone and
Well, that's kind
tears
of
the
hard.
face to the
That's kind of
side.
hard.
So that's a very simple move. It takes practice along the wrist. So you can see what I'm doing. 1, rotate, 2, and again, you see the palm come forward, the finger closing in. So you're going 1, 2. So I know it looks very blurry, but I'll try to slow it. And that's how it should look. Okay, off the hook punch, it's the same user side,
same,
it's
okay.
through the face. So again, you can do the same kind of technique here and again here, and this goes to the side of the head to the ear. So
Ooh.
now you're getting along the cheekbone to the ear, and you're gonna use the same technique. So if a punch, you just go right into the face, and again, claw, and you can repeat it with this way too, and claw them that way, and then go to the face that way. So it's a very simple, easy move.
Damn.
Use the base. Make sure you have your wrist turning with that strong base. If the base is not going to be good, it's going to come back on you. You have to make sure you hit up both techniques, whether you do crane. All techniques should have a slight pop of the arm and never hit to bring them down. You can turn on afterward, but never initially. Make sure you do that.
Ooh. The pain, the pain, the pain. All right. Okay, thanks, Jen. I will look for Trisha's message later. I hope you guys are okay though. Melanie says sending hugs to CJ to exist. Appreciate it so much. Damien says ultimate dragon style. Yes. Good stuff. All right, family. What other questions do you have? That was some good starter stuff right there. Let us know. And if you also like to just share just how you're doing with the family, feel free to go ahead and put some comments down below. Much appreciated. What have you been working on?
Does anybody have any questions?
Not
Other
yet.
ones?
Not yet. Do you have any news or anything you'd like to share with the fam?
Nothing new news. Pretty much just I have my house up for sale. I got my patent. I'm waiting for my product to be shipped to me so I can go to investors and get it out there. That's my life right now.
Anything
I
else
got a-
we can
my
do?
daughter got a house. so
Oh,
happy for
okay.
her.
That's awesome.
Yep. So I can do a lesson. If there's no questions, I can do a small lesson.
Yeah, let's do a little
Very simple.
lesson.
Okay. All right. So let's do some basic stuff again. I'm going to talk about how to create structure in your arms. We're going to do some practice. So this is the Wu hand, right? When people do Wing Chun, I want you to learn how to do parallel moves. So that, like I said, parallel moves is your three proofs. So I want you to practice like this. You're gonna practice rotating to the right, down, and make it like an arc, like a smiley face, and then come this way, and then come up the opposite way. So you're gonna like make a downward circle and then an upward circle this way. So you're gonna go down, up, and back that way. So you're gonna go like down, up, and back that way. And again, if you notice my wrist is turning, the fist, my fingers never drop. I will rotate and come down, keep a vertical position. Why is that important? Because as soon as you draw your hand over this way, your energy is going to drop. You want to keep your hand vertically the whole time, and you're going to make like a U shape into a circle, so you can do like this. And you don't want to pull your elbow backwards. So on a profile, you're not doing this, where you look like you're going to keep your elbow steady and you're going to keep it like that. And the reason why you want to do that is because that'll keep your structure in your arm and the control of your wrist. So it's very important that you learn to practice like this. So you can just practice like make a U shape down, make a U shape up and over this way. So make like a frown and a smiling. So I'm doing a frown here. I'm doing a smile here. Smile up, frown over and down. Again, this is what you want to do. This is good practice. And you get good at that, you can start turning your body. So you can start doing this and turning your body with it. And so you can move like that. And the reason why you want to do that is because this will teach you how to recover should someone ever take your hand. It's a good anti-grappling type of technique, a good countering under pressure. So if she's punching me and she takes my hand somewhere, now I can learn to bring it back. So do a slow so you can see it. So no, do slow. So you see that I do a U. See how that's a U shape there? Take me down, you can. As soon as I drop my fingers, she can bring it down. That's what I told her. And she does it again. You see how I can bring it back? So this is a very good technique. So when you feel anybody trying to force your hands down, learn how to make a U shape or a smile or frown, or whatever you want to think of it. So you can see I'm making a downward and bring it back up. Okay, so you can see that if she's pulling my hand this way, I can do it down and bring it back that way. So this is very important that they learn to do this. So this way, when people take your hands will never be taken down. You always feel that recovery, and they can never push into you, because if she's pushing and grab my arm, pushes into me, I can now use the upward motion, convert that way. So I can use any motion, whether up or down, depending on her energy. And I can take it. I'm never fighting against it. I'm all converting it. So the arm structure is very important, so that way you don't just collapse. Because if you do, you can't turn your wrist when you collapse. You can bend, but you can't collapse. But right now, we're not going to work on the bending in terms of this part here. We're talking about the conversion to smiley face on a frown face, or circle, half circle, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so if she's taking my hands down, I'm just going to move with her energy. I'm going to make a U shape while keeping the fingertips up. If I do this, and I go like, and I let the fingers go down, if you notice my energy starts to drop, she takes control and she'll win. So the goal is, and it's, well, what happens so strong she pulls my arm down? It's okay to let your arm go down. It's not okay to let your fingertips and your wrist go down. So what happens if she takes my arm, I'm gonna go down with her. I'm just gonna make it exaggerate, but look, I'm going down with her, and you know, I can bring it right back up. Now it's much bigger than it should be, but you can see the energy and how I keep it. So it's very important. If you have a hard time keeping your fingers up, you have a habit of dropping hand, just put your hand on your fingertips like that as they take it down to try to keep it vertical. And if you feel the fight when it starts to strain, then you're not working with the energy, you're fighting at the time. You should be able to let them take you anywhere you want while keeping vertical. So when you fix me, I'm just gonna pick it up, right back up, and I'm gonna turn it. I don't extend the arm, I don't pull the arm. So if you feel it start to build as you turn, it means you're pushing against them. You don't want to be pushing against them. You want to stay the same angle which you have in your elbow, and you just rotate it, let your hands turn this way. Your goal is to turn the wrist, not push against force. If you are pushing against the force, you're no longer converting, you're now resisting. So you want to make sure that you are not fighting the pressure, you're working with the pressure. So and if you go to practice, have them practice very lightly, just be very lightly taking me. So you should be able to do this very easy. So just work with that energy. So you see how I can just work with that energy. And again, you can see how she's falling off my hands there. And when reality works, when they do this, you can now go like this and right to a grab, or you can turn that energy right into a hit and do that. So it works in your favor to convert them, because it's during that energy, that motion, you should be able to counter and strike. If you do it afterwards, they can't counter you if they're given that time. So we will attack this as quickly as possible. So that's a very good technique for you to make a circle 1, make a circle 2. Then you use upward circle this way, left and right. But again, my elbow angle doesn't change. You can see when I do this, my arm's never changing the angle. I'll do this. Now there's techniques where you can work like this, where you can change it, but that's a little bit more advanced. I'm keeping it as basic as I can. So you just want to make a circle this way, circle up this way. And again, you see my hand changes. And this is because if she's punching me and I can do this, watch. When I have this connection this way, watch, I can take this. She puts a lot of pressure on me. You see how easily I can convert her? It doesn't struggle because I'm turning energy. So if you can keep your structure and rotate your wrist, don't push against the arm. Common thing is people might connect like this and she's pushing. The reason why I feel that is because I'm actually not driving to my wrist, I'm driving to her arm. You can't do that. So whenever you feel pressure build at this point, and you feel the pressure build, you went to them. And she does it again, and I raise my hand. You can see it just goes up, it goes back. You never want pressure to build. Building pressure on point means that you're fighting them. You're not converting energy, you're driving into the energy or against the energy, say. So you want to do that. Make sure that you're driving the energy from the point of contact up to the wrist and then rotate that. If you do that, I don't care how strong it is. I don't care how forceful it is. 0 times anything, 0. So you're never fighting it. You never feel the pressure build. The goal is to keep the pressure the same. That's what we call it COP, right? Consistency of pressure. You have to keep the pressure the same. If it feels like it's greater, you fought him. If it feels like it died, then it fights, then you die into a fight. So you can't do that. Okay?
All right. That was some good information. I hope you guys pay attention. In fact, the replay will be available right after here. You guys can check that out. So let me go to comments real quick about the lesson. Tyrell said, slick, key is being confident in yourself, and this will be very effective. And Damien said, maintaining that woo hand fingers up is powerful. And Shalom said, spiral is the best. Neil Azani says, hey, family, hope everyone is doing well. Always good attendees. Good to have you on, brother. I hope you're doing good. Hey, we just got a new Enter Tai Chi YouTube Premium member. Thank you, Bruce, for joining that and just giving us some little support here to help us keep doing these webinars. Thank you so much. Also, Damien said, you're selling the house? Where are you moving to?
I'm going to move to Cherry Hill. I'm going to move in with my mom. She's 7 years old. I do want to take care of my mom. There's nobody there to take care of her. My kids are all grown up, moved out. So I think
You was in a big house by yourself.
Yeah, I have this huge house by myself, and it's just like kind of pointless to be there. I know my mom would like me to be there.
I think it's gonna be good for
I
both,
think it's
yeah.
good for us
Yeah.
to be there with my mom. You know, like especially you never know how long people have in their life and they're older. So I want to take advantage of being there for my mom.
Absolutely. I knew that lesson all too well. And sometimes they don't leave you when they're older either, which is not fun. Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed that short lesson. Let us know what other questions you have. We still have 30 minutes before the members only webinar. We can always do some more short lessons if no one has any questions. Yes, we all need to do that. Yes, spend time with the ones you love. I've lost both of my parents way too soon. My mom was about to be 54 and my dad was about to be 65. So cherish them. And I don't have any of my grandparents left anymore. So it's just me, and I only have really one family member that I have left from my main family that I'm close to. I have a lot of family members, just not ones that I really know. So it's kind of weird. So if you guys still have your family in your life, you know, make sure that you make amends with them if there's any bad blood, and just love on them where they're at. Trust me, you will regret it if you don't. And just spend whatever time you can. It's so important. Charles
You
said,
you can't take back time.
no, you really can't. Yeah, absolutely not. Charles said, but I understand peel or
People.
people. Oh, okay, I was like, peel, what is peel? But I understand people are dealt different cards. Yeah, yeah. You know, you never know. And no one knows their time. You know what I mean? Like you could be like, I'm gonna live forever and then be gone tomorrow. You know, you just don't know. So that's why we're supposed to live each day and do the best we can to show up to be our best each day, because that way, you know, whenever it is your time, you know that you showed up your best for the people around of you and you don't go with any regrets. I think that's the biggest thing. Don't leave this life with any regrets. John said, so will mom be on every once in a while then? Well,
No, I'm moving with her house. We're not moving her to where I'm videoing.
yeah, this is Inner Charlotte at a different location. So this is where Seafood Larry used to live. He had a studio built on that property that we're renting. So, but that would be cool. I mean, if mom ever wants to come with, we would love to have her. I think everyone would love to say hi to her. But yeah, so he'll just be traveling. I guess it's a little longer of a distance, but not much. Maybe like
No.
10, 15 minutes longer of a distance.
About 15 minutes more.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be cool. If mom ever wants to come out, we'll make sure to treat her good and take you guys out to eat afterwards or something, get some food.
She wouldn't want to come out.
No, too
I
late.
know my mom. Yeah,
Too
late.
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 Too late. We'd have to get back at like Friday afternoons and then mom can come. Okay. So we'll work out that family. Let's see. Shalom says, Seafood, do you know Eagle Claw?
I don't know the system, but I know what it looks like. I can easily recognize. I do understand some principle. Eagle calls like this, so they're like this. They do this, you know, like they're like this. I don't know the movements. I've seen it. I've seen enough to recognize it. I know exactly when I see eagle claw, but I don't know the style, the form, or anything like that.
Damian says, nice, taking care of parents yourself when they're older is great. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was planning, unfortunately, my dad lost his battle with cancer a little sooner than, you know, I just thought we had more time. You know what I mean? I thought I was planning on just moving down there and spending time with him at least like over the summer and then figuring out what needed to happen. But I called him home a lot sooner than we expected. His condition was a little worse than what he had led on the previous year, and we didn't even know he had cancer at that time. He's kind of in a bad medical care system, as well as just, you know, putting off things too long. So I will say this. I'm not really big on Western medicine, but for diagnostics, it's amazing. So if you think something is wrong with you, don't put it off. Find out what's going on, because you can't fix something that you don't even know what it is. So make sure you guys are taking good care of yourself and making sure you're taking care of the ones that you love. It's super important.
You're not saying the worst cancer is
What's that?
the one you can't detect.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. All right, family. Well, oh, John says, oh, no, that was one we were talked about. So do you have another mini lesson we can do?
Does anybody have any requests? Let's do that.
Do you have any requests? Anyone?
Any technique that they want to
any-
see, learn, problems, issues, situations, scenarios?
Let us know, fam.
I can do that. Request technique.
Hey, Bruce, since you're a new member to the Enter Tai Chi Premium membership, do you have any requests for a mini lesson you'd like us to do right now? Let us know. Johnson, moms are great at telling all those embarrassing things you won't want to forget that you want to forget about. John, did you do a lot of embarrassing things? My mom actually was not like that, but I don't think I gave her too many embarrassing things. I think that's maybe why. My brother might have been a different story though. Just a little bit. Emmanuel said simple elbow techniques. Okay, that's good. All right,
I did a video on learning how to elbow strike before. I did do that. I'll break it down real quick. When you do an elbow, okay, power comes in and having a very strong base and a torque. in the wrist. A lot of people elbow like this and they bring the hands this way. So if I'm elbowing someone, a lot of people elbow like this. You don't want to elbow like that. You want to turn your wrist where the heel of the palm comes out and you focus the energy this way as you drive your base and you drive that way. So it's like a rotation of the wrist this way. I want to torque the wrist forward towards the target and send the energy wherever it is I'm connecting, whether it be here, 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 doesn't matter. You want to make sure that your wrist is torquing towards the target which you're hitting. The most powerful elbow strike lies within 1 to 2 inches, just where the elbow tip is. So you want to shoot the base out, like you want to shoot the base, so your shoulders shooting to the elbow. At the same time, you're going to create the drive, and then you want to create the torque, which is this. When you do that, the 3-proof, it's the most powerful way you can strike, even at close range. I can strike very, very powerfully. I put this strike like this. I can strike very powerfully, very, very quick. It doesn't take a lot of movement in terms of distance, which requires throwing my body. It requires you turning your wrist, basing, and turning your waist, depending on the range and the angle you do. So you want to make sure that you're pushing the base, the drive, and then torquing the wrist to the elbow. And again, that's free. Right shoulder drives the elbow drives the wrist, just turns the point of contact. Since the point of contact here, I do want to turn my wrist to bring the energy this way. So when I'm elbowing, it should be like that, where the wrist is turning here. If you're a lot of people elbow this way, where their hands turn into themselves or down to the floor, the energy drops. It doesn't really go here. I've taken hits from MMA guys. Tell them to elbow as hard as I can. I take a bare chested elbow and I barely ever move. They bounce off me because it's actually not going into me. It's dropping more than it's invading. So they always bounce off. It never hurts me. But when you do it where you do this, you're not cutting down or slicing a guy, or stabbing the guy. And when you do an elbow, any type of strike, we really don't want to create a slicing type of movement. We want to create a stabbing type of movement. So when you turn your wrist and base, you're creating a stabbing. When you let your hands drop, you're going to create a slicing. You're actually not really going to the target, you're slicing off the target. So you want to make sure your wrist is turning towards the target. If you do it right, it feels very, very powerful. Okay? That's the elbow part.
Okay. Cool. So we actually had a couple other things pop up. Let me cover some of the comments for the next question. So Emmanuel said, my condolences on the lawsuit. Father, cancer sucks. Took my father too. Thanks, brother. I also lost both my grandparents in 2020 to cancer. And again, it was just, in their cases, they were going to the doctors. It was stuff that was misdiagnosed. It was things that were, attributed to, oh, it's getting old, or this is just going on, or whatever. So I will say, if you have repeated things that you notice are happening in your life, maybe you're really tired all the time, all of a sudden, or, in the case of my grandma, she ended up having pancreatic cancer, and she had like a series of UTIs back to back. Usually if there's something that's going on repetitive, there's something bigger going on. And a lot of times people will say, oh, I must be just tired because I'm getting old. Like, no, you're not supposed to actually get tired as you get old unless you're not taking care of yourself or something is wrong. So unfortunately with them, it was just, they were misdiagnosed with a lot of stuff and just kept getting pushed down the line. And by the time we found out what was actually wrong with them, it was just a little too late, unfortunately, to actually help them out. So that was rough. So yes, cancer absolutely sucks. And I'm really sorry to hear about your father. Let's see. Damien says, facts, rest in power, Mr. Pelias. Thanks so much, brother. Appreciate you. And yes, rest in peace, Mr. Briggs, too. Absolutely. All right. So the next one, Damien said, I've been on weapon things lately. And he wanted to know if you talk about using the wrist in swordsmanship or knife if you don't have a sword, but I did say we have both. The Damien said the long sword, knight style sword if possible. Well, let me see what we got here.
I don't have a knife, knight's broad.
One can sort of
No,
thinner than that.
no, a knight's like from England. They're
Yeah,
bigger.
they're bigger. I know the but I know that, but you can kind of.
No, the point is the weight is so different. You can't use it the same as narrow blades. If you look at weapons like in Japanese and China and all the other Asian type of stuff, weapons are never big and heavy. They're actually
they're all
lighter,
thin.
smaller,
Yep.
thinner. That's why you can move fast. You can cut the angles much quicker. You can turn the blade quicker. With the
Yeah,
knights,
we
the
don't
reason why
have
they
any
had those
swords.
heavy blades because they were armor. So they had to come out with so much force that it actually overwhelmed the person. So when they stabbed, they had enough momentum to try to pierce through the arm as well. So they had a different method of weaponry because back then the armor was different. So again, when you had an armor like was metal, obviously if you had like a Japanese samurai, if the metal's like you probably wouldn't be able to cut through that. Okay, so the English weapon, they were heavy, so if they came down,
they're
it felt like a sledgehammer.
big,
Oh, so
big.
that was different because of the way they have the armor. It's how they dealt with it. You couldn't have a light weight armor to do it and cut. You have to try to hit against the joints and everything, trying to disarm them. But the narrow blades like this is called a narrow blade Tai Chi blade. These are very fast. They were designed to cut very quickly and designed to pierce. Okay, whereas the knights, they were boom, they were coming down hard so they can cut through, and put a lot of pressure on a person. So there are different weapons. You cannot use such a heavy weapon, put that weapon in your hand and hold that with a narrow blade, with a samurai sword that was using two hands. They were a lot lighter, stronger steel, and they were used to do quick movements to cut, slice. That was the main thing, and even jab. Whereas I said the English sword, it was a lot of coming down. Now they can cut. I'm not saying they didn't cut. I'm not going to say it doesn't. But a lot of that movements was down to come down like bam, put a lot of weight to break them. Then you can try to slice them and everything. So that was their method. You can't use the same application in terms of the Chinese, Japanese way of movement when you apply that type of weapon. It's it's a different weapon altogether. It's not a light weapon, it's a heavy weapon. But if you're going to use it, all I can say is if you're going to swing like this, bring your elbow in more. Don't let it swing out like this where it's a lot of stress. It does have a little bit more range. I'm not going to take that away because that's the advantage of having that. But it does leave you more exposed. It does take more strength. It does take a lot of more energy to do. If you're going to use it, take it and bring it tight to yourself and bring the swing not from out here where you're using more on the shoulder. Let it come from the elbow and let it come out this way. So you can strike. If you're going to strike, it's much better if you keep tight and bring it out that way from the base this way rather than a big swing this way. Obviously, if you hold like this, you have some weight. It's a lot of stress on your shoulders. You bring your arm more in, it alleviates that stress on your shoulders. Now, you can use your waist and your wrist to turn, and then you let energy come out. Again, the weight, the momentum of the blade can bring the weight out for you, so you can just strike that way. So that's one of the tidbits I would say. If I had a heavy weapon, I don't have anything heavy here.
He did say that's a good point. Knights are very, very heavy hitting stylists. He says, can you show a wrist with the Tai Chi sword then? Get some tips on that.
So your wrist moves 6 ways, okay? It's from the palm and the back of the wrist. It comes from the thumb side, the center point, and the pinky side. So I can turn this way, I can turn this way, I can turn this way, and then it goes on the back side of the hand too. So when you do that with the weapon, okay, with the Chinese weapon, it's broken down. Most of the weapons are broken down to 3 points, 3 sections in the blade. You've got 1/3 here, 1/3 here. Okay, so it's broken down 1/3, 1/3, and then 1/3. And it's really neat because this was used for cutting and stabbing. The midpoint was actually used to deflect, to pivot weapons off you, so you can use it to turn. And then you have this one where you can use for hard blocking. Boom, 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 boom. So that's how the weapon is made. So your wrist is designed so you can turn the weapon and meet the angle that you need. So I'm going to use the box side, the blade, the steel to turn and hit. So I can use the wrist rotation, pinky side. So you can see this is the pinky side. Using my wrist. If I want to use my top hand, it is used for me to turn and rotate and pivot. So I can use this side where I'm turning from the thumb side to deflect. If it's like Jamie's just going to put that and come down to my head. Just hold it now. Don't do it hard because I don't want this to break.
Yeah.
But when I do this, it's made so you can pivot. So you can do this and cut. It can be made so you can do like this and then take from here. So that's the way the weapon is. It can be used for a hard base hit and then push off of it into a down to a strike. So you go boom, 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 and like that. So these are different methods that you do. And again, rotating your wrist is how, if you can see, I can pivot from here to make this point pivot. So you can see right here. So now I can use that. I can also use it up here. And again, controlling how I do it so I can make it this way. And then I can make the whole thing turn. So I can make the ankle rotate the way I want it. So it's this way like that. So when I'm doing this, I can make the base hit. So I can do base hit and rotate the wrist. So, and I can do a base, I can rotate to make the middle to left from that point and go right to the cut. I can go from down here into here and rotate back up. So I'm using this to make this weapon change angles and stay within a frame. So you can stay in my frame. I can use this to protect my body and then come in. I can use it to come out this way. I can use it to go this way and cut in this way. So there's all kinds of ways that I can rotate the wrist to make the blade work how I want it to. So this is why this weapon like this. And Japanese has the same kind of principle. They use a two-hand weapon where they bring it out this way. And again, they create swings where they can make quick slices this way. And so they use their wrist too for that too. So rotating up, like they go and then rotate down to put that weapon forward like that. So they use that way for that. Okay, with a, like I said, with a weapon from a knight's weapon, those things are so heavy. It takes a lot of strength. Again, it requires that because you're using a lot of momentum to just break the person's strength and break their arm, really put an overwhelming force on them.
So Damien said, excellent, good. So even night style can be NDN. So anything that's a form of movement can be NDN style, whether you dance, play sports, even how you're walking or opening a door, literally everything.
NDN is principle of energy. It's not style. That's why any system can be.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're just teaching you about physics. Damien, thanks for sending us super chat love. This is just $2 for my previous questions. Thank the bunch. Well, thank you so much. Those are some great questions, some good content for everyone to view later. Let me go back and just make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, looks like we're good on that. John said, I think my question is best for the next one as I'm working on ground stuff. Okay, John, I'm looking forward to that for sure. All right, good stuff. So let's celebrate our first super on live. Okay. Yeah, let me do that. Never seen that pop up before, so I just celebrated with you. There we go. All right, family. Hey, speaking of celebrating, if you haven't already liked this webinar and shared it, please do. It really does help us to get more people on these webinars, seeing our videos, being a part of Shaolin.com. We really super appreciate it. What other things would you guys like to see today? We still got a little bit of time, so we could do another mini lesson. We'd like to, obviously give you guys as much value as possible. So if there's anything else you'd like us to cover, let us know. What about, let's see, let me go back up here. Phil, do you have any questions?
Jay just asked a question.
Oh, there we go. Hey, Jimmy. Jimmy said, what is side to side used for in combat? So side to side push,
Side push in
Qigong?
in a Qigong.
I believe that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, well, side push really doesn't have any martial arts value in terms of for what it is, but the principle you can use. The side push is to connect the energy from the ground to your hands. That can be used, but in terms of like doing like this and turning like this, there's no application for that. It's just the way to build up energy in your body. But the part in which you connect the timing and all that, that could be used for its application. You can't use the sequence as a combat movement because it wouldn't work. But you can take the principle of energy, how you move. That's what you can do. So for example, obviously this is kind of like pretty simple to see what that is. It's me coming and hitting someone. So she's grabbing me, she's pushing me. I can go up from that. So that's that coming up in there like that. So that's a method. The drawing of the hand, this and circling the hands. These are like if she's grabbing my arm, she's pushing me, I can now bring it up back into her. So that's this part where you're turning your wrist here. You're doing this. And then you bring it up forward. So you can see that. So that's the part where you do like this and you go up. Those are the techniques that you can do to convert energy from gripping The drawback this way is basically she's pushing me. I could just take her hands down. So that's that drawback this way. Now you would again, you don't take the whole sequence. You're
Right.
not following the sequences of the form to make move. You take the principles of the movement and you apply it any way you want. You can mix and match it. So that little downward drop is this. You know, like when you go from here to here, that is teaching you how to bring the energy down. Though she's trying to grab and push me. Again, you can feel her hand come straight down. And you see I'm sinking back. So I'm stepping and I'm sinking. I didn't go like this and move myself away. I didn't do that. The way the form teaches you is to sink into the ground. So you're sinking and bring the energy. So all the energy stays into you. It can't be going to your rear leg. It can't be going backwards. It can't be going to the point. So when you're doing that movement, so this is that part. And then you can bring it up. Again, the form tells you to do this. But again, that's sequences of movement. It's not sequence for battle. So
Right.
she's grabbing me. I can from here, so you can see how my hands go down, goes in. Again, these circles of hand, these are if they grab my hands, I can circle the hands out. I show you this part here. She grabs that circle the hand out and bring the hand out. If she grabs it this way, again, you know the part where you go like this in your form. So that's again, that's
Yep.
doing that type of techniques that do that. That's again, you take every movement you make has a combat movement behind it, but the sequence is not necessary for the combat itself. It's the principles. It's like learning the alphabet, A, B, C, D. You learn a certain order, but you don't spell A, B, C, D. You learn the alphabet, but you can mix into any way you want. Cat, dog, hat, fur, whatever. So these are the same. You're learning how to use these energy principles so you can combine any way you want. You don't follow that sequence. Hold that up.
That was a lot of great tips right there. And that just that one movement. All right, family. Well, does anyone else have any questions? If not, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up a little bit early. You know, a whopping 8 minutes before our members only webinar at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely some great questions, lots of good value going on. I hope you guys and gals, anyone that came on late, that if you're not going to the members webinar, that is in a little bit here, they get a chance to watch the replay because it will be up right away for y'all. Jimmy did say thanks. You are so welcome. All right, fam.
Give a heart.
Give heart,
You like it.
give a like, all the good stuff. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tap the bell notification too. That is basically like double opting in to say, hey, YouTube, when they're going live, when they're adding videos, I want to be notified. So make sure you guys and gals do that if you haven't already. And thank you again to Damien, as well as our new YouTube premium member, Bruce. Really appreciate that. Anytime you guys are on these and you see anyone with their name ingrained, that means they're a part of our YouTube premium membership. If you are not and you want to, just click that join button that's right below this video. Okay. I think it's like $4.99 a month or something like that. Very, very small. YouTube takes about 30% of it. It's like buying us a tea or a coffee. We appreciate it in all cases. And you got some extra bonus videos for just being cool. And you get to have your name highlighted, as well as some cool little special icons and things that you can drop, and little emojis you can drop in the chat that no one else can. Emmanuel says, thank you all for your time and your knowledge. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and your week. You too, Emmanuel. Good to see you, and I hope to see you again. And again, condolences on your father as well. Phil says, y'all are great. Thank you so much, Phil. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hope to see you back too. Do you have anything you want to share, Seafood there? All right, family. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And members, we'll see you here shortly. All right, family. See you later.